Sit back and relax while you listen to Train Kickers podcast. I'm Dave, and along with my co-host Dan and Steve, we're going to take you all around the world of miniature wargaming. On tonight's episode, we are going to get back into and continuing through our deep dive through the special characters for Horus Heresy. In particular, we are ranking them. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see our rankings. Otherwise, I'll talk through what it is once we actually officially get started. I remember this topic was actually requested by one of our patrons to kind of go back through. And now that we have more experience with the game and everything like that, we figured it was a good time to go back and take a look at all these special characters that maybe you are running or maybe not. I know especially in Heresy, there's sort of a almost moratorium sometimes on special characters. And we want to talk about where that's maybe appropriate and where you should just bring it because you have fun with it anyway. For other things from us, I've been putting out some Conquest stuff. I was just at a convention and things like that, so I'm going to record some stuff about that pretty soon. Just have to see exactly what day I have in my schedule. I'm currently editing one of our Imperialis battle reports. You should have that by the end of this week. The other one will probably be at some point next week. And that might be all the main things that I know that we're doing right now. You will see some other stuff. All right. Otherwise, on to the show. All right, gentlemen, how are you on this late-ish Wednesday? Because Steve had to play a game that I didn't know actually people go and play, like, anywhere. But apparently you did.
Warcry is a fantastic game, and it's a shame. It's a shame that more people don't play. It's actually great. It's quick. It's punchy. It's not perfectly balanced, but the games are so quick that even if you play a game that feels bad, it took maybe 30 to 45 minutes of your life. And then you move on. It's great.
I mean, it's a pretty fun game. Like, in and of itself, it is a pretty fun game.
Never tried it? No, almost nothing of. I know the basic idea, but I didn't look at it any more than that. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure it's fine, but got plenty of other games. Actually, when I was at the convention this weekend, I tried out, because they had it there, and I figured why not, tried out the Fallout miniatures game.
Ooh. How was
I'd
it?
never done before. It's interesting. It's very themey. So it absolutely fits the theme of Fallout, fits the world. Everything in it fits that. So like, you find a food item. Oh, well, if you don't cook it, it gives you radiation. And, radiation is essentially damage that you can't heal unless you take something like a rat away to remove it, and then it's healable. Oh, you cooked it, like you cooked the bloat fly. Okay, well, now you get life back and you get better defense because that's what it does in the games and all that kind of stuff. So fits the theme very well. It's sort of a combination. It almost plays a little bit like Cyberpunk does with these sort of bands. So, your weapons are in different bands, your movement's a different band, your line of sight, how far you can see, is a different band. The way they do dice is a little bit different. So there's a white die. Let's say I'm going to shoot you. Okay, I have my special thing. Okay, I'm going to shoot you. My gun's based off of agility. My agility is a 5, so it's an add or under system. I'm going to roll a white die that has the numbers that essentially I got on my roll. The numbers, I want to say they go up to 9 or 10. There's a couple low numbers. There's like an auto miss, an auto hit. There's a couple other symbols. But essentially it's like I think it's more than a D12. I think it's almost like a D20. I didn't actually look at how many sides, but quite a few sides on that. So that's an auto roll in. You're going to roll that. But then you also have your weapon. So your weapon might give you a green and a red die. So you'll roll those in. The sorts of things you might see on those dice are like minus numbers. So that way, if you rolled a 7, but your dice shows a -2, 7 minus 2, your stat now you hit at a 5. Your stat was a 5, so you made it. They also might cause more damage. They might go through people's armor and stuff like that. So it's sort of this modification system. Overall, I think it's neat. Would it replace any of the games I currently play? No, I play way too many. However, I will say, if anyone is a huge Fallout fan, it fits the concepts and what you want out of Fallout very well. And when I put up a video talking about that and some other stuff, I will put up in that some of the video I took of what some of the people scratch built. And like they scratch built the whole blimp and everything. So there was tons of stuff. It's just a shame at the event there really wasn't a lot of terms of miniatures. So it was kind of like, at least on the last day, it was me and another person taking a look at it. So, but otherwise it was good. Bought a cheaper but expensive Croc on All board. So, but that is an absolute great game as well. So, All right. Anyone do anything else cool before we get into this?
No,
Those are the
just
cool things I
painting.
did.
Just painting. That's all I'm doing.
And being able to move your back.
Nice.
And being able to move my
Ooh.
back, yeah. And recovering very well.
That's really cool. Being
Yeah.
able to, like, function.
Not
I like it
falling
when you
apart anymore.
You get
Yeah,
to play
pretty
games
much.
when you function.
That's true. Well, you were at the store last week. You'll be at the store this week. So it is working
Exactly.
out for you. All right. Well, might as well get started with all this. So, just as before, I don't know exactly how far we're going to get to. We're going to see as we go through it. Especially because, like I said, we are starting a bit late, but that's fine. I mean, some of these longer episodes when we're doing some hours, honestly, it gets tough. So, the hope is to at least get through about as many characters as we did last time, but sometimes it depends on how long we want to talk about them. Although Steve hates the Imperial Fists, so he might not want to say very much about them at all, and it goes very quick. Who knows? For anyone who didn't watch our other video, sit back and watch it, then come and watch this one. However, I will go through our overall ranking. So, for ranking these guys, we give them fun names, but essentially it's S, A, B, C, and F tier or like terrible tier. So, for this, the highest tier we put down was too much for casual. That means you are absolutely top of the line. You are an absolutely great character. That doesn't mean you can't bring them. Like, you absolutely could, but that's, you're not just going to kind of have it show up and not tell anyone about it. That might not go that well. Second tier was to let your opponent know. So this is, sort of that A tier. They're very good, but if your opponent knows about it, like you can plan a little bit. It'll be absolutely fine. Down in B tier is why not for an event? They'll be fine. There's no concern of it being a surprise. It won't be a bad surprise. Down in C tiers that you love the fluff. Like, they're a fun character. They sound good. They're not making their points back. They're not probably worth their points, but you're going to have fun with it. You don't necessarily feel you'll have a bad day. You might not have a great day with them, but you won't necessarily feel like a bad day. And at the bottom is that they need the Emperor's mercy, that they shouldn't have done this. There's some glaring issue, whatever it may be. No one is there yet. If you're watching, you can see where we have our characters currently, and we will surmise as we go along. But we essentially have 2 in each category other than needs the Emperor's mercy. No one's fallen there yet. Let's see if anyone does today. Remember, we do have a requirement that at this time, with how many characters we have, the requirement's going to be at minimum 3. It might even go more, but with the amount of characters, minimum 3 per every tier. It might actually be 4 per. Not everyone can avoid that Emperor's mercy. But we are going to be starting here with Imperial Fists. Does anyone have a favorite Imperial Fist? Looking at you, Steve. Do you have one that you love more than the others?
Well, there's the one that was very ardent follower of Erebus's book. There's that one that was kind of okay, though.
Which one was kind of okay?
Probably Fafnir.
Fafnir is kind of dope. He does go on to found the Executioners, which is pretty dope. But rules-wise, fuck that guy. So I'm going to go with the new kid on the block, Garrus.
Okay. Dan, why don't you take the
Because he
first
should have
guy,
been
then?
an Iron Warrior.
I'll take Alexis, yeah.
Yeah.
So Alexis Pollux, 185 points, which is actually kind of expensive for these guys.
Yeah.
He movement 7, so normal. Oh, so he's not in Terminator armor.
No, he's Artificer.
He's just thick.
Yeah, just thick. Jesus. Weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 4, strength 5. That's kind of cool. It's got higher strength.
Why is he jacked up?
No idea, and it's going to make no sense in a second because he has. I'll just skip to this. He's got a Solarite Power Gauntlet. Before, Solarite Gauntlets used to be ×2 strength, just AP1. It was an AP1 Power Fist essentially. Now, Solarite Power Gauntlets are just strength 10.
Yeah.
So I think it might just be a holdover from like old.
No, it's because he is just a unit. He is
He's
just
big.
beef.
Okay.
He's just
he
beef.
is actually canonically fucking huge.
Oh, he's massive.
He is massive.
Dude is thick.
He's the original Crimson Fist.
Got it.
Well, that
Why
makes
Crimson
sense,
Fist?
yes,
'Cause he
that
had
makes
really
sense.
big hands.
Let me see here. So he's got 3 wounds. So he's initiative 5, 3 attack, low number of attacks, leadership 10, 2 up save. He's got a 2 up save, 4 up invulnerable because of Iron Halo. He's got the strength 10 AP1 Solarite Power Gauntlet. It is striking initiative 1 though. It is unwieldy. He's got a Storm Shield, which for Imperial Fist does mean it's a 3+ native invulnerable. Wait, Why does he have an Iron Halo and a Storm Shield then?
Because you're an HQ character, they give you an invul save through Iron Halo. That's what you get.
I'm just looking at it. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, but he's got a 3-up native. He's got a 3-up Iron Halo is 4, but Storm Shield beats that with 3+. He's got he's got a combi melta. Who cares? Frag grenades, crack grenades. He's Master of the Legion. Okay, so Void Commander, Deep Strike native. Ooh. That's a very good rule. Hammer Blow and Master Technician. So let's look at his Warlord trait. After all models are deployed, but before any rolls to seize the initiative are made, the controlling player of Alexis Pollux may redeploy one friendly unit within the limitations of the mission being played. They may deploy normally to reserves or bring a unit out of reserves, but may not add or remove units assigned to deep strike, assault, or deep. Okay. So he can't. Okay. So he can't. He can take them out of reserve or into reserve, but not out of deep strike or flanking assault subterranean. Also, you get another assault phase reaction. Redeploy is pretty good. This is a nice world trade. I'm not gonna say it's the best, but redeploy is not bad.
Better if you think you're going second.
Yes, that is very, very true. Void Commander. So the control player may opt to automatically pass or fail any pinning test made for Alexis Pollux, any unit he has joined. Why the hell would you fail a pinning test?
They probably just want to allow it. It would be weird if they say, like, you can choose to pass no matter what. Well, that's just
weird. I'm trying to think of like
but they want to give you
fringe occasion. I don't know. But in addition, all models in the unit that Alexis Pollux joins and reserves gains a deep strike. Oh my god! So he just passes out deep strike.
Yes.
For there and there. Okay. I'll get back to that. Hammer Blow. During any fight subphase, can make a single attack instead of attacking normally with his 3 attacks. He doesn't get any bonuses or anything, but it becomes Strength 10 AP1, Armor Bane, Melee, Flesh Bane, Exoshock 6-up. Why would you trade 3 attacks at Strength 10 AP1
for maybe the
1 attack Bane? At Armor Bane?
Well, because if you're going against like a Raider or something like that, you're only actually getting through on a 5s otherwise. The 2 of them. Yeah, but on those 3, there's a reasonable chance that you don't get through. You need a 5-up.
It's for flipping over Bane Blades.
Yeah. Now you have 2d6. Now on average, you are penning it rather than... It's the difference
50-50 penning it.
No, less than 50-50. 1 and 3.
50, 1 and 3.
Yeah. So it's,
all right.
It's a more guarantee that you'll at least get to roll on the table. So to me, it's if I'm going at a Raider, I don't know if it's the best trade-off, because if you take the other option, you have more chances to get more pens through. But if it's injured and you need like that 1 wound, do this option. You're much more likely to get through. I'm guessing that's the sort of idea with that.
Okay. It seems like the fail painting system, this seems weird, but whatever. But honestly, I don't give a shit about that because he hands deep strike to a unit. Automatically, we already know. We've talked about ad nauseum.
No, we talked about you doing that on ad nauseum.
No, but I'm saying no. We've talked about deep strike as a rule.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like how you're going to buff this because you'd straight to the top for that.
No. I'm just saying we've talked about how. So just for recap, deep strike in this edition, you can assault out a deep strike. You could be up to like 1 inch away from an enemy, and the first unit will always kind of be in that general area. The other units, you might roll a 1 and they can mishap, right? Or not, it's not called mishap.
It's almost exactly the opposite. The first unit actually scatters. Everyone else comes down off of them.
Unless you roll a 1 is what I'm saying. Well, so the first unit will scatter in that area and then the other units have a chance to be there, or on a roll of a 1 be 24 inches away. But what I'm saying is, who gives a damn? His unit is going to scatter within that area. So he's going to get close. He can charge off of that. And he gives whatever unit. I could see him like running with Tartaroses with Solarite gauntlets and fists, like a squad of 10, and just here's a big unit of 2 wounds with 3 up invulnerable.
Yes.
All with strength 10.
Although keep in mind that Imperial Fists already have teleport strike. So essentially, if you're in Terminator armor for 25 points, you can already do it.
Yeah.
That does help him for units that aren't in Terminator style armor.
True. Maybe put him in a breacher squad. That'd be pretty cool. Or even do Huskarls have Terminator armor? They do. Okay.
or
Skulls
like you said, Phalanx Warders.
Oh, Phalanx Warders would be great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like him.
That's your breacher squad that you're
Yeah,
putting
no,
this guy in.
he's nuts. I think the deep strike master recognition is nice. Don't get me wrong. Hammer blows sweet. 2 up, 3 up is great on him. But honestly, the fact that he hands out deep strike to a unit, that's why he's 185, and I think it's well worth it. I'm going for A or S on him. I'll see what you guys say, but I'm going for A or S.
Now
Probably A.
we
'Cause
already know
Imperial
that
Fists have so
Imperial
much.
Fists are quite good. They are one of the stronger things in general, so they're already a very good option. All right. So like I said, we already know that they're very good. We already ranked them as very good in general. My thought is, does he do so much more for them that they already don't do?
That's why I went down to A, by the way. Because
Yeah,
Imperial Fists do the deep strike already.
they already do the deep strike. They already do a lot of strength. His weapon, don't get me wrong, it's good, but they already have the weapon. There's nothing. And I guess naturally he has deep strike, so you save some points on that. So otherwise, I think it would cost him about 20 extra, if memory serves. Oh, Steve got kicked out of the room. Steve's coming back in. Just realized that now. There he is. He's connected to audio. But taking a look at it, yeah, I guess A is fine. I would never put him any higher than that, just because, not that he's not good, but because what he does, they already do well. So like,
Yeah.
he doesn't need. They don't need him as a buff.
It's nice to deep strike Phalanx Warders, though. That's why he's A.
Yeah. So that's probably to me why he gets into A, because one, Phalanx Warders are very, very good. That's a super strong unit. So now you have another option you can do with that very strong unit. And he himself does help them overall. I would probably. Let me take a look. What Void Commander? No. Okay. So with Void Commander, he doesn't have to be your warlord to do it. If he is your warlord, though, you could put him on the board, think it to be a bad idea, and then take that whole unit out, put them into reserve. Are they allowed to then deep strike? No.
I don't think so.
No.
'Cause
So
it
actually,
says
that
no,
wouldn't
yeah.
help. So to me, maybe I take him, but I don't know if I care about him being my warlord, because how are our warlord traits? Do they have better ones? How do these things look? +1 to weapon skill when locked in combat with one or more enemies that are traitor. Extra reactions, word of Inuit. All models of friendly warlord joins automatically pass morale or pinning test they're called upon to make. That's kind of like his, but it's also morale. Architect of Devastation. They can reroll ones as long as the unit is entirely within area terrain that grants cover and BART. Not amazing warlord traits otherwise, so maybe he'd be a warlord, but I don't think he has to be. You could take someone else, but his other abilities aren't limited by that, so that's okay. I'm okay with putting him at A. I'm not 100% happy with that, but I'm happy enough with it. What about you, Steve, now that you've returned to us?
I'm talking about Mr. Polix here.
Yeah, we're taking a look at him and deciding whether or not we think he is A. Is he good enough?
I mean, he's just a Praetor with a unique gimmick, right?
Yeah, deep strike.
Yes.
So that's like, I could play him, but he's not really bending the game at all. He's not like, oh my god, that's insane value. I mean, cool. He punches at strength 10 and he instantly kills Custodes. Nice.
And he passed out deep strike, though, to Phalanx Warders.
I think to me that's probably what buffs him, is the fact that he takes a really good squad and can now give them another option of what they can do.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason. Steve, do you want to put him lower? Do you want to put him at B? Take him to an
How is he
event?
handing out deep strike? I'm sorry, I missed something in like my 10
Oh,
minutes.
it's a
being
special
robot.
rule. Void Commander, he gets deep strike, and the unit he joins gets deep strike.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay,
what
I
his
see
thing
it.
does.
It's the second half. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean that's pretty solid.
Like we were saying.
He's like a more stable warmonger
Yeah.
crossed with the Praetor.
Yes. It was saying, so this is an army that can get deep strike anyway. You'd spend an extra 20 on him to be deep strike, but if you're Terminator, you could deep strike. Wardens aren't Terminators, so you do give this as a viable option to them, and that's an already very strong unit. So that's why we kind of felt maybe A, because you can take already an amazing unit, and now you have more options. But if you believe otherwise, I'm listening. I'm fine knocking him down a peg if you want.
20 points for a storm shield.
You know what? I might even knock him down a peg, to be
20
honest.
Deep strike, 145. Power fist is like 15 points. He's just. He's
Honestly,
like,
then,
he's like 20 points efficient. That's what I see.
I'd knock him down a peg then, because he's depending on the unit he's bringing. If that makes any sense, I'd put him in B then. I'd put him in B.
He's B. He's not A. He's B.
I'll give him B. I'll even knock.
He's a Praetor with an extra cool thing that he does.
Yeah, I'll put him B.
All right. So why not for an event? You could take him. Already, if you're going to an event and you're playing Imperial Fists, you should be careful about the kind of crazy, just dumb things you could do anyway. So I don't think this guy's making you do that much more dumb than you could already do, because you could already do some pretty dumb stuff.
Dumb.
All right. You wanted Evander, I believe.
Yes. Is that who's next?
Yeah, it's who's next.
Yeah, Evander Gauss.
Lord Castellan Evander Garius. What an Imperial Fist kind of name.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, pretty much.
all right. So this guy, quick lore snippet, because not everyone knows who the hell this guy is. So this is the guy that was tasked by Dorn, who didn't like him very much, to go and siege Chthonia because we can't let Horus control his home world. So it's kind of like a psyop campaign, like, Horus will control his own home world. And this guy's like, I'm taking one step further. I'm going to take this populace. I'm going to force anyone that could potentially be a Space Marine to be raised as an Imperial Fist.
Nice.
So he's a very Iron Warrior Imperial Fist. He's not the noble type of Imperial Fist. He's the pragmatic kind, which is very nice to see. So, rules-wise, 215 points gets you a fancy cataphracti.
Expensive
Terminator.
cataphracti.
Maybe. So he's got a bog standard stat line for a cataphracti Terminator. Straight up.
What about that toughness 5?
Oh, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
He's tough.
Oh, yeah.
That's because he has extensive bionics.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got that bigger toughness. But if he's in a squad, it doesn't really matter. If he's in a challenge, it matters. Okay, toughness 5. That's really nice. That's really nice. That actually is a big deal, because then you're safe from power fists.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's already a great start. His war gear is all unique, so we'll get to that in a minute. For special rules, he's Imperial Fist, surprise, surprise, Master Legion, independent, relentless, stubborn. Adamantium will 3 up, so Psychers need not apply. Bulky 2, he is the unfavored son, loyalist, and has his own fancy warlord tree. If he's your warlord, he gets this warlord tree. Butcher of Larisan. If at the start of any player turn, the opposing player has scored more victory points than this guy's controlling player, then this guy and all models in the unit he's joined get Rage 2.
Ha.
That's great.
Furthermore, whenever an opposing player scores victory points by causing a unit from the same detachment to be of this guy's to be removed as casualties, this guy could roll a d6. If the result of the roll is a 6, the number of victory points scored is reduced by 1 to minimum 0. And you get a +1 to the roll if the opposing player has more victory points than you. This is the most meta set of rules I've ever seen.
Right?
In a game.
This is so cool. I like this, though.
You would.
We get an extra reaction in the assault phase. Yeah. Okay. So you get bonuses for being slightly under your opponent.
Yeah.
I don't think I like that.
He's got catch-up mechanics.
Yeah. That's kind of neat. We haven't seen that. I'm like smiling because it's actually really cool.
I like this better than the White Scars blanket. You can't get victory points for killing infantry
Yeah.
from the
Hard agree.
yeah. This is way more interesting.
Hard agree.
I like this as a mechanic.
This one
It's
is an
neat.
NPE. The White Scars one is a negative play experience for you, for your opponent. This one isn't. Like, hey, you're doing well. I get cooler rules. But like I'm not stopping you necessarily. Even if I take away a victory point on something, there's not tons of scoring that you do off of destroying units in general. So the other part's probably more important. But
Super neat. Like I really like that.
yeah, it is pretty neat.
Wow, so Imperial Fist players incentivized to not win on turn 1 or 2. Impressive. Okay, so let's get into these war gear pieces, which are actually, I was looking at them earlier, they're actually really fucking cool. Should spend more time on the Warlord trait to understand it better, but the war gear is, I love this war gear. So, Subjugator is his Relic Power Gauntlet. It's a power weapon, Strength 8, AP 1, Melee Unwieldy, Brutal 2, Reaping Blow 1. It's basically a Thunderhammer, but with Reaping Blow,
Yeah.
which is sick. Instead of concussive. But who cares about concussive? It's not real. Then we have Incineratus, which is his little underslung Volkite gun. Just want to say that I made the underslung Volkite Cataphractii Terminator Praetor like 5 years ago. All right, this
And
guy's
so you
not
did it
original.
before it was cool.
I did it before it was yellow.
Hipster.
Yes.
What a hipster.
So yeah, Incineratus. It is a Volkite that's been modified. It's got range 15, strength 5, AP 5, assault 5, deflagrate, and radphage.
Huh.
I
That
shoot
thing's
that
just
at a
kind of
dreadnought.
useless.
Yeah.
Uh, it
When you
like,
have 5 strength 5 shots, though,
that's
it,
not bad.
it gets better, though. Because then you're like, all right, maybe I will shoot this at a dreadnought and knock it down to toughness 6 instead of 7.
Yeah.
Because that makes a difference.
Yes.
You could maybe get one through on just weight of dice. With like a rad missile launcher, you're not getting it through because you're only AP3. It's only one wound you're doing. It don't even bother. This guy with 5 shots, you might actually land it.
That with Ballista skill 5, he's going to be hitting on 2s. Like, it's much more likely you even just get the hit. A lot of those other times, you're looking at 3s or stuff like that. Like,
It goes woo right off the target.
You have 5 dice on 2s. You're going to get a decent amount of dice in. You might get something. It's a nice to have. If nothing else, it's a very high shooting Volkite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd shoot that at demons.
Oh yeah.
Debuff them.
Or Mechanicum. You got some
Yeah.
different models that have
yeah.
multi wounds.
Yep.
Oh yeah. You know that. I just think that's a cool gun. Sideratus. Love it. All right. Times Regalia. It's Cataphractii Terminator armor. And you get Feeling Pain 5 up in the fight phase. Which, with the toughness 5, means you're really laughing at those power fists. Garius don't give a fuck.
He does not.
And finally, you have the Unfavored Son. Dorn doesn't like him because he actually accomplished things. So if he cannot be in a detachment that includes Rogel Dorn. But if he's part of a combat that includes Rogel Dorn as a friendly model, he gains fearless and it will not die. Basically,
he's trying to prove himself.
yeah. Basically, if you're playing a team game and your teammate has Dorn, it's the only way you could legally have this come up. Yeah, you get it will not die and fearless.
Fun flavor, but like, don't worry about that ever.
It never
It's
happened.
literally a team game.
So what do you think of this guy overall, Steve? Then
I would run the fuck out of him just because he's cool.
okay, who are you
His
running him
warlord
with?
trait is unique and interesting. The only thing we ever run Imperial Fists with. Thunder, Hammer, Storm, Shield, Terminators.
All right. Oh yeah, because he is heavy as well. Okay, yeah, I just noticed that as
Yep.
well. And he at least is stubborn. All right. I do think it fits there. Does feel a little bit expensive, points wise. I think he has some very good rules for it otherwise. I don't think that's at the end of the day. I think you're taking this guy if you like his warlord trait. If you're taking him and he's not your warlord, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Take him as your warlord and laugh your way potentially to the proverbial bank. Especially actually with those Terminators, if you start having Rage 2, now...
Yep.
That's a scary thought.
Yes.
That's a lot of attacks on the charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because we're still talking Imperial Fists. You have some different war gear options you can take. What do they have? It's been so long since I looked at some of these. Do they have a special heavier Terminators? Which ones are they? Do they?
The Huskarls, the Terminators?
Huskarls, yes. They
Huskarls are an HQ choice.
/ retinue, yeah.
Yeah. Squad that includes warm-up.
Yeah,
okay, so they could be his retinue.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I was looking. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
And
they have
think
power
you could
weapons.
buy them
Storm
deep
shields.
strike if. I think you just could see them deep strike, right? It's been a minute.
They have deep strike naturally.
Yeah. Okay. And if they're his retinue, that means the unit has deep strike, and so he could deep strike.
Yes.
That sound right?
That's a really good question, and I think so, but I don't know.
Probably can't buy upgrades for named characters.
Characters.
Yeah. All right. So we had it paused because we thought we knew the answer. Then I unpaused it. This is an army where normally you can buy deep strike, but you can't buy stuff like that on named characters. So can they actually do it? I don't know. With deep strike, it does, at least it doesn't normally confer, but does it confer in special cases like this? Universal special rules, deep strike.
I'm going to err on the side of caution and say no on this one.
And a unit made up entirely of models with a deep strike special rule.
Okay, so it would not get the deep strike.
The only way would be if the rule of retinue said you share all your rules no matter what, but it doesn't say anything like that. So
it
no.
does not.
So you can do it, but then they lose their deep strike ability, much less fun. They should have just gave him deep strike. He's fine if he had deep strike. He'd be more fun.
But it's not fluffy for what he did.
No, or at least give him the ability to buy it, because this is a faction where that's a thing that anyone can, or just Avian Terminator style armor, but any of them could buy. Oh, I guess that's the other thing. He's technically not.
Well, it's
Terminator armor.
Yeah,
it's not Terminator lock.
No,
it's just independent characters.
Well, oh yes, so, independent characters or Terminators.
Correct. So you don't have to be a Terminator.
So then he can buy it.
No, but he's a special character. He can't buy war gear. Yeah, he has a name.
Where does it say that?
It's part of the core rules of the game.
Yeah, that's a rule of the game. If you're a unique character, you can't buy war gear if it doesn't say so on you.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I think you should be able to. So, all right. So, what do you think about this guy? Where do you want to put him then? Because I'm a lot less happy now.
For 215 points. I mean, okay, toughness 5 characters are not common for Marines.
No.
But at the same time, toughness 5 also doesn't save you from strength 10 plus.
Which is also not common.
I would say he is at a bare minimum playable. He's definitely, I think, fun to use.
Yes.
And I don't think his rules are oppressive.
No, not at all.
The only thing I'm not sure of is he good for points or bad for points? But the other boxes say like he's not like, oh, yo, you got to tell your opponent. He's not like that for sure. And I don't think he's like, I mean, you take him because you like him. No, like I think he's playable. So that's like upper B, lower A. No, A is still you should tell. So B.
Yeah, B.
Yeah, we look at A as, the idea of, you know, quite good and, could be something that can be potentially a bit oppressive. Not always, but it could be. S tier is it's gonna feel oppressive, and you better make sure everyone's aware of what it does, what they do, and everything like that. So you're thinking more of that B sort of, you bring them to an event. I don't know, this guy would be fun for an event because you're outscoring me. Here's my catch-up mechanic. I'm
And most events
gonna
do.
hurt you better.
Most events do progressive scoring too, so this guy would be hella fun. Because again, it's not like the White Scars where it's like you don't get scored.
Or give your opponent first blood if that's in play.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not doing progressive scoring, try to bait them into taking out something to start with. Start with a tiny unit of something.
Just shove a rhino in front of them, like, hey, blow this up, please.
Although it's funny, if you rolled that 6, they might not score any points then.
Yep.
And then the other part doesn't come into play.
Oh,
but it still most likely would. That's actually, that's the one spot where you score off of killing units. Is usually the idea of first blood is often, or end of the game when you're looking at who's left alive kind of thing. So I'm fine in that middle level. I think that's fine. He's fun. He's good. He's not going to break anything. His weapons are going to help him get by, but nothing over the top. So yeah, no, I think that's fine for him. All right. Why don't we move along to Fafnir Rand?
Oh, yes, that's right. I thought it was Sig was in that.
Okay. I heard a weird sound. I didn't know what you were doing there.
It's Fafnir. It's Fafnir.
All right. I know. I'm the one who has the order of it anyway. It's whatever I say the order is. So, for Fafnir Rand, this guy's a bit cheaper now. He's the cheapest one I think that we looked at for the moment so far today. 175 points for this guy. So he's move 7 because he's an artificer armor. He's not a terminator or anything like that. He's weapon skill 6. So he's shooting on 5. Strength and toughness and attacks all sitting at 4s. He's got 3 wounds because he's not in a terminator armor. Initiative 5, so he's only a tiny bit faster. With 10 leadership to up save. He is heavy. He has a bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. He has his iron halo, so he's essentially 2 up, 4 up because he got the artificer armor. He's got a boarding shield and some special weapons. To me, he is a shield master, executioner's tax. He has Hammer Wrath 1, which is the part that matters in terms of non-special named things. And he does have a warlord trait. For his warlord trait, Fafnir Rand and all the models in any Legion Breacher squads or Phalanx Warder squads in the same detachment get +1 to the weapon skill for the duration of any assault phase in which they successfully charge an enemy unit. That is super, super, super amazing. In addition, you get an extra reaction in the assault phase. That is good. Again, of course, while he's alive. That's actually really strong in something like this because you're wanting to charge, but if you don't get them, now you are getting to shoot in with multiple things or denying their charge bonuses potentially and all of that. Phalanx Warders weapon skill is 4. Same thing with Breachers. So pushing those units to 5s when they charge means now you're generally, if we think about, let's assume you aren't going at something super elite. Generally, that means you're going to be hitting on 3s and they're hitting on 5s. Unless they were already 5, now you're at least hitting on 4s and they're not hitting you even better than they did before. So actually, I really rate his warlord trait. Yeah, his warlord trait is probably the strongest that we've looked at so far. The last one was more fun, but in terms of what it's going to do, this one's going to do you a lot of good. If you put him, okay, he doesn't have to be in any of those squads, but it makes sense he is. He is essentially one of those. That's why he has a boarding shield and all of that. But if he's leading one of those squads, now you have this unit running in at weapon skill 5.
Does he have a boarding shield though? You'll see in this. He does.
Oh, no, I know.
There's a special here.
Yeah.
He flips. Yeah.
Well, hey, sometimes you throw it on your back. I saw Troy. That's what Brad Pitt did with his shield. They carved up a whole bunch of Trojans. Executioner's tax. When an enemy unit makes a successful charge that places 1 or more enemy models in base contact with him or any model in his unit, the enemy suffers D3 plus 3 strength 5 AP dash hits. These attacks hit automatically and resolve during the fight. fight sub-step at initiative 10. No extra pile-in at that. No extra rules that him or anyone else has. They are inflicted by the special rule, are allocated as normal for attacks made in the assault phase. Okay, it's one or more that places one or more enemy models in there. So no matter, essentially, if someone charges his unit, they're taking D3 plus 3 strength 5 AP dash hits that hit automatically. That's not necessarily a deterrent if you're looking at Terminators, but if you're not a Terminator, if you're someone on a 3-up armor save, let's assume you're a Space Marine for a second, so you're getting wounded on 3s. You have 4 to 6 of these. You absolutely could lose a couple 1-wound models, and that could be something that you need to think about. So, assault phase reaction shot you coming in, maybe took down a couple people. Then you made it into me. I potentially took down a few more people. Now I'm a lot less worried about trying to win this combat with a unit that maybe wasn't before, or maybe was going to struggle a bit. Especially when we talk about breachers and stuff like that. They're more of in terms of survivability, not necessarily offensive output for some of these things. Shieldmaster, when he's locked in, when Fafnir Rand is locked in combat, and his controlling player has chose to use the single axe profile for the headsman and the huntsman in the phase. We'll talk about that in a moment. All hits inflicted by enemy models and allocated to him must reduce their strength by 1. So essentially, if he's using his shield, kind of idea. So strength -1. When using the twinned axe profile for the weapon, you get no special benefit. He does not count as having a boarding shield for any rules that would grant him a benefit for having one, and he ignores the usual results for using a weapon with 2-hand special rule while also having a boarding shield. And he may ignore the usual restriction for using a weapon with the 2-hand special rule while also having a boarding shield until the end of the assault phase. I'm guessing the normal rule is that you cannot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You cannot.
That's what I figured. That's what I thought it was, but I wanted to be sure. I don't run things with boarding shields. So when we look at his weapon, all this really means is you may pick the weapon to use as 1 or 2. So essentially you have axes, either 1 or 2. If you're using 1, you get your boarding shield, and they're at -1 strength at their swings. If you use both of them, you can, no boarding shield, but you're allowed to use both of them. Normally you wouldn't. Good for him to give him options and viability here. For him, these close combat weapons, the headsman and the huntman. There's single weapon with 2 profiles. One when he uses it in 1 axe with a shield, and then when he uses both axes at one time, you choose which profile to use. If it's a single axe, it's +2 strength AP2. It's melee shield master, with specialist weapon and master crafted. Shield master means that that's the reduce the strength by -1 when enemies come at you. So you are hitting at your initiative. You are strength 6 AP2, rerolling one of them. Or twinned axe, strength +1, so only strength 5 now, AP2 still. You get rampage 2 though, 2-handed and master crafted. So you get rampage, but less strength. But you have rampage, so you have that as well. So
Yeah, you have that. Yeah, exactly. You have that to balance it off.
Yeah. Overall, depending on what he's going into, I honestly prefer his one-handed use, because then you have a shield, then you're getting minus strength, especially if he's getting into a challenge. So you are lowering, because you are lowering their strength by 1. So if they are going to swing at you with a strength 8 weapon, now strength 7, you are no longer getting doubled out. So it really improves the survivability quite a bit. And the single axe swing is still really good. Strength 6 AP2 and you're re-rolling one of them. That's still very, very good. He was through 4 attacks? Yeah, 4 attacks. If you get to charge 5 attacks, you could put him in a breacher squad. Phalanx Warders isn't a bad idea. Their shield wall models in this unit with boarding shields, which he would have. They're in base content with 2 other models with boarding shields that aren't falling back or pinned. May add 1 to their invulnerable save. Independent characters that join them also benefit from this rule as long as they have at least 3 models with the shield wall special rule. So he can absolutely go into Phalanx Warders and have their special rules. So everyone's invul save is better. If you get the charge, great. Your weapon skills 1 better. Everyone's hitting better. If you don't, you're pretty good survivable. When they hit you, they're going to take 3 plus D3 strength 5 hits. So I absolutely think this guy's really, really good. He's cheaper than some of these other ones. He does quite a bit for you. His Warlord trait is great. If you're running that type of list, you do have to run that type of list. Executioner's tax is really good. Shield Master makes him really good. I really like this guy. Anyone going to tell me he's bad?
No, he's plastic
No,
as
but
well.
playing him makes you bad.
What
Yeah.
now? Why is that?
Did you not just read all the rules he gives to Phalanx Wars, which are already disgusting?
Yeah, if you run him in
okay.
Stone Gauntlet.
Okay, if you mean that, yes. Oh, I agree. He
you run him
takes
in
a
Stone
really
This is
good
Gauntlet.
unit and adds to them.
110%. Tell your opponent a month before so they could paint a new unit to try and deal with it. They won't, but they could try.
Yeah, the Stone Gauntlet Phalanx Waters with him is an actual menace to society.
It's really funny though when it fights against the Fury of the Ancients list, and the Dreadnought goes and it hits a guy, and he's like, "All right, take 3 invul saves," and the guy's like, "Bet I'm taking 3 invul saves, and I'm gonna re-roll my invul saves."
Oh, I forgot that they do that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is
with a
that
+1 because they're shield walled. How many 4-up re-rolls can you pass per model?
Essentially.
Oh,
Then
and I just
swing
noticed.
back with axes. I'm sure they need 6s to hurt you, but it's AP2.
And so they also have lockstep as wardens. So if you charge, you get +1 from him. If you are charged, you get +1 from lockstep to your weapon skill. So
Yep.
essentially, you're now always weapon skill 5.
Yep.
What gives them the reroll on it?
Stone Gauntlet. That's the right of war.
Okay, so it's the special right of war that does it. Got it. Okay, I'm going to assume you at least have one single friend left in the world and you're not taking Stone Gauntlet.
Listen, Stone Gauntlet is fine if you're running basic generic breacher squads.
Yes.
It's fine. But the thing is, you're not going to do that if you're running Pollux. We all know you're not
Fafnir
going to.
Ren.
You're just sorry, yeah, Fafnir
That's all
Ren. You say you're going to, but we all know you're not going to.
You're not wrong. So do we want to put him in that A? You should let your opponent know, especially like maybe there's a little asterisk there, the caveat that
Like he's A unless you're running Stone Gauntlet, then he's an S. That's how I would say it.
I would say if you're not running Stone Gauntlet, it's probably okay. Or if you're not running Stone Gauntlet and you're only running one squad of Phalanx Warders, you're probably okay. If you're using this guy to maximize because you love people with shields, then he might be a little bit over the top. Or it might be a lot over the top, depending on what you bring. So, no, I agree. Let your opponent know. Put him at that A tier. He is super strong, especially if you're going to take some of that super, super strong right of war. That itself will absolutely be a negative play experience if your opponent is not expecting you to just like be re-rolling all your invuls.
Oh, God.
On these guys. And being weapon skill 5 no matter what happens. And you charge me not on my weapon skill 5, but you get auto hits in as well. And I shot you coming in and you're just having a bad day.
Yeah, it's bad.
All right. So
please tell me what part of that entire process is fun for anyone besides the Imperial Fist.
To me, it's not as even fun for that. So me as a player, I am strongly in the camp that if my opponent is having no fun, now, if they're having no fun because they're a salty jerk, that's another thing. But if they're not having fun because what my list can do to you is oppressive, that's not fun for me. Now, if you rolled bad dice and I rolled good dice, I had a game like that the other day. My dice were just going really great. That happens. Like, you can't do anything about that. But if we're on equal footing and I'm just stomping you into the ground, that shouldn't be fun.
Mm-hmm. There's no drama to it.
All right. So who would like to explain why Sigismund is going straight up to too much for casual?
Oh, I got this one.
I'm just going to put him right there.
Yeah, Sigismund.
2 words.
Eternal Warrior.
Nailed it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So he's 230.
You could also choose Death's Champion.
Yeah, that's just a lot of stuff. So he's 230. He's weapon skill 7, ballista skill 4, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, even though he's not a turn into armor. Initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 10, 2 up save. He's got an Iron Hailer, 4-up save, the Black Sword, we'll talk about that. Mastercrafted Bolt Pistol, who gives a damn, frag and crack grenades. He's got a whole slew of special rules, but the most important ones are you got your Fearless, you have your Eternal Warrior, you have Adamantium Will 3-up, Dolorous Fighter, Death Champion, Precision Strikes 3-up, and Slayer of Kings. So let's go as Warlord trait, which is Slayer of Kings. Just real quick, you get an extra movement phase reaction. Just throw that out there. If Sigismund is the army's warlord and slays the enemy warlord in a challenge, you get +1 victory point in addition to get any mission objectives. And all units in the same army as Sigismund that include at least one model with Legion Astartes Imperial Fists special rule may add +1 to the total number of wounds caused in each combat for the purpose of determining assault phase reactions. This does not stack with any other rules. It increases assault result though. So if you have a
Banner.
this doesn't want to stack. Okay. I mean,
that's not why you're taking him.
Dude, it's not why you're taking it, but it's still a victory point. So victory point's a victory point.
Unless the other person's warlord is a Primarch, he's probably going to take them down.
Yeah. Or
if he gets to them.
Or no, because he's got Caligula. So it would have to be either a warlord has to be Eternal Warrior or a Tribune from the Custodians. Those are really the only two things that can go against Sigismund.
Primarchs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because you're not getting Eternal Warrior otherwise, really. So you're a Primarch.
Yeah.
And even then, he outshines some of those Primarchs.
Yeah, no, he's really good. Death's Champion. So basically, any unit he joins gets +2 to all charge distances and sweeping advanced rolls made for the unit. In addition, he may take Templar Brethren as troop choices, which is so cool.
I
the
fought
+2 to
once.
charge.
It was rough.
Yeah, it's scratching my head. It's rough. It's a rough unit. But they also get +2 to charge and sweeping, which is also rough. Dolorous Fighter, sorry. When a challenge is issued in any combat, Sigismund must always accept the challenge. And if the opposing player does not issue a challenge, then you must do so, and you have to nominate Sigismund for the challenge.
Yep.
But when he's in a challenge, successful invulnerable saves against Sigismund's must be re-rolled, which is fan-freaking-tastic.
Disgusting.
So you are always be challenging, right? ABC, always be challenging. And if you are in that challenge, if your opponent had invulnerable saves, they're re-rolling them. Now you might be saying, okay, who cares? They're really invulnerable saves. What's he gonna do? A wound or two? Let's talk about his Black Sword. His Black Sword is +2 strength, so he's swinging at strength 6, AP2, so you don't get really an armor save, melee 2-handed, mastercrafted, so you get a real hand, and instant death. Ooh. So in a challenge, this dude is hitting you with 4 attacks, 5 of the charged, which he most likely will because he gets +2. So let's say 5. He gets 5 attacks on the charge, right? He's hitting you most likely on 3s because he's weapon skill 7, right?
And he picks who he wants to hit.
Well, no,
if he's not in a challenge, he just goes.
Well, I'm just saying in the challenge for now because I'm going to use the rerolls. So he's going against a Praetor, right? Let's say a super tooled out Praetor with a 4-up invulnerable. So he's hitting you 5 times, right? He's going to hit you.
He's not
hitting you 5 times. He's going to hit you 3.5 times, right?
Yeah,
a little more than 3.5. 3.5. Oh no, he gets to reroll. So let's say 4. He gets 1 reroll. So let's say 4. I'm going to round it up to 4. So he hits you 4 times out of the 5, right? He's going to wound you on 2s. So that's going to be, let's say, 3 wounds. Any one of those wounds get through, you are dead.
Yep. And you have a 4-up save. You have a 4,
Mm-hmm.
so you're having to roll 6 4-ups to survive.
Yep. He's a monster. He's an actual monster. And he could take troop choices. Templar Brethren is troop choices. As a quick reminder, who the hell Templar Brethren are. Templar Brethren are weapon skill 5, 2 wounds, 2-up save, Furious charge 1, which makes him strength 5 on the charge. But the big thing with Templar Brethren is that they can take a lot of special options. So like they can take power swords, or they can take power fists. They can take thunder hammer. The champion can take thunder hammers. You could, yeah. Anyway, point is, it's a rough.
Yeah.
It's a rough.
The big thing with them is the fact that you are weapon skill 5, 2, and artificer armor.
Yeah.
You don't have an invul save, but at that weapon skill 5 means if someone's in combat with you, you're actually really good at surviving. Also keep in mind their advanced reaction is you got within 10 inches of me, I come at you.
Yes.
I actually, in the game I played, this was a very, very early game. when the game had just been reasonably new, I did do a move and didn't realize how close I got and got charged by Templar brothers with him in the front. And I'm like, all right, well, there goes that whole squad. And then he was able to use that to leapfrog on his turn into my next squad and all. And I lost most of what I had. I don't know if there's anything else that has to be said about this guy. He's the absolute top.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah.
He's the duelist. He is the duelist.
Yep.
And he absolutely can kill some Primarchs.
Yes.
Who was the shit Primarch? It was Erebus, right? Erebus was the
Erebus
shittier
isn't a
one.
Primarch.
Not Erebus.
Lorgar honestly overall wasn't that bad. There's
Lorgar has brutal at least.
He has a good shot at about half of the Primarchs.
Yeah.
The
And
Primarchs
here's the
who do
reroll
better than
involves.
him are the ones that better weapon skill.
Yep.
Or people who dish out potentially tons of wounds, like Ferrus Manus because of his brutal and stuff like that. Like, yeah, this guy's Eternal Warrior, but if I just make you take enough saves, you'll fail them sooner or later. But if any of those Primarchs don't beat him in weapon skill, he absolutely has a good shot,
Yeah, he
or
just
a reasonable
destroys
shot at taking them down.
Yeah.
His instant death doesn't work, but theirs doesn't either. So
Who
no,
cares?
this guy's super, super good. But he's absolutely the top tier. Anything you
I
want to
agree.
say about him, Steve, as your ever eternal love of this army?
Something else to keep in mind is like you could use an apothecary with him.
Yes, you
This
can.
Eternal Warrior. Like, oh, he shot a, So destroyer weapons will still actually
Will not kill him. They're D3.
No. Hold
They're
on.
D3.
Ooh. It's okay. I need to do a dive into this at some point, but you might not get feel no pain against things that would normally cause instant death. Because it gains the instant death rule, but you wouldn't get the instant death effect on him.
So
I
the
think-
question is, does Eternal Warrior allow you to take things versus instant death?
So,
Strength
no,
eight,
I
yeah.
can answer this. I can actually answer this because Eternal Warrior doesn't say that you're not immune to instant death. It says anything that takes you down to 0 wounds is now reduced to 1 wound.
Yeah.
So it does
That's
not
not-
mean you are immune to instant death. It says anything that will take you down to 0 wounds immediately is now down to 1 wound.
Yeah. If a
And the
model
reason
with this,
I know this,
if a model with
Yep.
this special rule suffers an unsaved wound from an attack that inflicts instant death,
Yep.
it only reduces wound by 1 instead of automatically reducing to 0. So no, you would not get the feel no pain.
The reason I
Okay.
know this is because of demons.
Yeah.
You can take a demon sovereign that is a feel no pain. Like the demon sovereigns can have feel no pain, and they have like the faux eternal warrior, but it doesn't work if you hit him with instant death. Because yeah. Anyway, sorry, just wanted to point that out.
No, that is a good thing to point out, though.
That was literally the reason. It was demons. It wasn't even loyalists or anything. It was literally the demons that showed me this.
You shouldn't be looking to demons to show you things. That just sounds like a bad idea.
Hello,
All right.
Inquisitor. This
Listen,
comment?
it's okay because Demon #1 fanboy Mr. Lorgar wrote the book that Sigismund loves so much.
I know that's the irony.
He sleeps with the book. He holds it close. He's like, "I love you."
I love you, book. The Emperor's God.
Like Titio Divinatus, you're my best friend. My Primarch doesn't like me anymore.
I also will
but
not spoil
you
the
love
third
me.
book.
No,
I will not
don't-
spoil
no
the third.
spoilers.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't spoil any of the
say
books.
nothing, and saying that you're not going to spoil something itself is a level of a spoiler, because that
Mm.
means you are calling out that there's something related to that.
I'm gonna spoil book 1 of the Heresy. Sigismund has like no personality outside. I want to fight. I want to crusade. There's
the person-
nothing to the man beyond.
Stupid
that.
side question.
You have
Who's the person that
Ahriman
beat
who's
his
like,
ass?
I want to retire and I want to go to my vineyards. You have Gulliman who's like, I want to be a farmer. And Sigismund's like, I want to fight people.
Who beat Sigismund's ass? I'm trying to remember.
Horus.
But-
No.
was it No, there was a normal character that I think beat his ass.
Lucius?
Was it Lucius? I can't remember. Now it's gonna drive me up the wall.
I don't recall
I-
that.
I feel like there was a character that beat his ass.
Abaddon.
Next, probably. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I feel like
Anyway.
Lucius like got jealous of how good he was. I think they had that fight
That's
like
on
early
that's
on
on
in
brand.
the sparring cage, and he was better, and Lucius was very upset by that. This is before Slanesh. She's like, I don't like how he
That's
beat me.
that's on brand with Lucius,
Mhm.
Yeah.
honestly.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
Logan was close.
possibly. All right. That will take us to Blood Angels. They are the next ones in order. Remember, for right now, we're just going through Loyalists. We'll go through the other side, but it's just what I had already put together. And we're sticking with whatever's what's easiest for me. Does anyone have a favorite Blood Angel that is here?
Nah.
Of course you don't. How uncivilized.
You'd be surprised actually, because they're Corrin's favorite buddies. But yeah, I don't know him enough to have a favorite.
Okay.
Actually, Raldor is the well, I can't say that either. Damn it.
I think the plastic one, because he's cool. I mean, the model's totally wrong based on the books, but he does cool stuff, and the
Oh, is
and the
that fun?
pose.
make it interesting.
Yeah. And the pose.
All
We
right.
talked that. Yeah.
I'll start with Judiciar Astrocrone then. So for this particular character, this is one of the characters that is out of the Legacies document. So you do have to look there for this one. All right, he is 155 points. He is a move 7, weapon skill, ballistic skill 5. He's, of course, strength, toughness 4. He's got 3 wounds because he's just an artificer type armor. He's initiative 5 with 3 attacks. Leadership 9. He's on a 2-up save. He has 2 hand flamers. He has an special axe. He is artificer / iron halo as well. Frag and crack grenades. He also carries rad grenades, which is always good. Although he has bitter duty, so he's going to limit some options. Actually, no, wait. It's the other way. Bitter duty independent characters can join. No.
No, I think you're right.
So, bitter duty.
Yeah.
Characters can join squads that don't have it.
No,
Okay,
Wait.
so him with bitter duty, he could join someone who isn't.
Correct.
Okay, but if your
So
squad
he
is
could be
bitter
like,
duty, your
hello,
character has to have
tactical
it to join.
Marines. Correct.
Okay. I knew they had talked through that and all, so I just wanted to be sure of that. He has Scout, makes sense for a Blood Angel, counterattack 1. He's, of course, a ghost. Virtue of Judgment we'll talk about. His bitter duty, he is a loyalist. So for his weapon, because that's one of the weapons that they talk about there. Okay, yeah. His weapon, it's +1 strength, so he's now strength 5, AP 3. He's, of course, melee, of course, rending 5 up, duelist edge 1. So he was at initiative 5. He's going to be initiative 6 in that challenge then. He's the Ghost of Scythe. The first time Judiciar Astrocrone loses his last wound or otherwise is removed as a casualty, roll a d6 on a 4-up, put him in reserve with a wound left. He comes back. If he enters reserves on or after turn 4, he may enter play automatically at the start of the controlling player's next turn. One thing it doesn't say here, when he loses last wound rolls on, he's placed a single wound instead of being removed. Okay. If he does make that 4-up roll, you didn't actually defeat him, so you don't get a victory point if you made him your warlord or anything like that. You only get it when he actually is truly defeated.
dead. Yep.
And he has the Virtue of Judgment. The start of the battle, once both players have deployed their armies, including any units that have the Infiltrate special rule, if the controlling player of him may select D3 enemy units, these units are considered marked for judgment. Judiciar Astrocrone's Crone, Blood Angel, Angel's Tears, Legion Destroyers, or Legion Mortalis Destroyers that are Blood Angels, special rule in this detachment that he is a part of, gain the Shred special rule when making attacks with a weapon with the Flame type against units that are marked for judgment. Oh my god, there's so much to that, but it's not nearly as complicated as it sounds. Your units that shoot flames of these types get shred on the flamers versus D3 units in your opponent's army. Wait, so Mortalis can regular destroyers take 2 pistols? 2 flamers?
Yep. Yeah, they
Okay.
all have. Yeah.
Okay, I knew the Mortalis have all that. I wasn't sure if the normal destroyers. Maybe now I'll print some spare arms so I can get some of those guys. So if you're leaning heavy into the flames for Blood Angels, this guy does give you some options. He does actually give you shred on those. You're looking at a lot of hand flamers, so you're looking at not great strengths and all like that. So getting shred means that your auto hits now when you're looking at the wounds, you're going to really start getting some numbers in.
That is really neat because they're shred 3, and if you overwatch them, it's gonna hurt.
It will start to hurt, yes. Him having rad grenades absolutely helps. So if you charge that unit, now you are getting wounded on 4s with those flamers. So you're not going to want to charge his unit. Where do I want to put this guy, though? For whatever reason, I'm not super sold on him.
I agree.
I think he's fine for what he does. I think he fits a very fun and fluff choice. I think if you're building a very special type of army, you want to build this sort of, no justice for the wicked sort of army where, cleanse them and burning Prometheum kind of idea. I think he fits that well. Otherwise,
But
I don't really care. Like he's only a force multiplier in a very, very specific style of force. And if you weren't taking those units, so let's say you're taking a Blood Angels unit and those weren't the things you were taking, you're probably taking a set of Angels tiers. Let's just assume you have them as an option. But the other units, maybe you're not. I know they play well for Blood Angels, but maybe you weren't taking them because you just don't. Right now, GW hasn't given you the stuff to make them. So unless you're making them or running them otherwise, so maybe you're not running that stuff. Even for the Angels tiers, you need to swap out, although they swap to one of their Volkite Sapentia to heavy flamers. So they would essentially be wounding on 3s, most likely re-rolling, but you are adding some more points. I'm worried that we're not going to find a character that's so bad to go in the bottom row and we need to get multiple. I don't know if he's that bad, though.
We'll get there.
We'll
know
get
some
there.
of the later
good.
ones.
I'm starting at loving the fluff for this guy. I think his idea is good. I think he can help your army if your army's super specific.
And he doesn't need to be the warlord either.
Yes, that does help. He doesn't have to do it, or even if he does, it's not a warlord locked trait, so you could still get an extra trait with it. He is not Master of the Legion. So you don't want him to be your warlord.
Yeah.
I just noticed that. Yeah. So you're taking someone else. So that means you are having to take him with someone else. Now you're kind of filling out your HQ, maybe a little bit more expensive than you wanted to, especially if you're looking at some units of Angels tiers or Mortalis squads. They're going to run you a little bit more.
Probably about a C.
I'd say C.
Yeah, I'm putting him in C. I do like his fluff.
Actually, he's a little expensive, though.
Yes.
He's a lot expensive. He might be D. Because for the... So he's what? He is more attack with an extra wound and shifting around with special rules. Yeah. He might be D. He's like C, D, something around there.
I always like to rate someone a little bit better if they have like rat grenades, because now that starts really playing up what your opponent wants to do, or if you charge in. This guy's just running. If you can charge into a unit with that, now I'm lowering your toughness. Now some of these weapons that I didn't care as much about before, I'm getting through. I'm okay with the love your fluff for the moment at that C ranking.
I'd say C.
I could see him moving down, and we might move him down later. At the end, we might have to shift some people around, but I feel a little better about him there for the moment.
I'll agree.
You're right, though. He's very expensive. You're paying a lot. Oh, excuse me. He's probably too expensive. He's probably way too expensive. But when you're a legacy, it's probably better that you're too expensive than too cheap. If this guy was like 30, 40 points less, he might just be like, yeah, you take him.
Auto take, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're on to Raldoron. I think that's Dan for Raldoron because you wanted Zephon, right?
Yes,
Steve?
sir.
Okay. So Dan gets the Raldoron.
Oh, I was looking at the Orphinium Court.
Yeah, the Orphinium Court. That's not a character, so that's why I skipped that one.
I got it. So we
that
got
doesn't
some
fit the rules
Raldoron.
that I've made up.
Yeah, no, it was just funny because I was like, wait a minute, you skipped because it looked
Yep.
like a name.
No, I
All
know.
right, so Chapter Master Ralderon, and again, I'm not going to say anything about his fluff because
Just stop
reasons.
there. Just don't say anything
Yep.
about it. There you go.
But it is cool though. Damn. Weapon skill 7, very high actually. But skills 5, strength at the top is 4, 3 wounds, 5 initiative, 4 attacks, leadership 10 to save. He does have the Carmine Warblade, which I'm assuming is a specialized Blood Angel sword, bolt pistol, combi flamer, Iron Halo. So there's your 4 up. And he's got a couple of things. So let's see what he's got. Why is this page so zoomed out for me? Anyway,
You're bad at computers.
so if he's your warlord, you get no extra. Hold on. I was just skipping to the end. Ah! Okay, never mind. So Chapter Master Roland is selected his army's warlord. Then his warlord trait may be selected from the core warlord trait from any legion-specific warlord trait. Oh, that's
This is
why.
why he doesn't get it.
Yeah, from any of the following legions. So you can get it from White Scars, Imperial Fists, Space Wolves, Ultramarines, Iron Hands, Raven Guard, Salamanders. I should point out that special rules with the appropriate variant Legion of Star special rule. This does not grant the army's variant rules or effects, but only allows them the benefit. So you can't be like, man, I'm trying to think of like a freaking warlord trait off the top of my head though. Like the White Scar trait where you get skilled rider, right?
Mhm.
That's something that would be helpful. But let's say I'm making a warlord trait off the top of my head. Let's say all of a sudden it says, I don't even know. Help me out, Dave. That's an example. I can't think of one.
What are you trying to get
Because-
an example of? Just the fact that
Of like
you
when it
don't
doesn't
count as
work.
it.
Yeah, when it doesn't work. No, because some of the warlord traits don't work. Like you don't get it doesn't grant them the variant rules or effects. So I was trying to think of a warlord trait where that
Does not
occurs.
grant them any of the variant rules or effects, but only allows them to benefit from the effects of the selected warlord
Yeah.
trait.
And that's how I was trying to think of a warlord trait that does that, but just for an example, but I cannot think of. I was going to try to make one up.
Well, we can pause for a second and look. All right, so we took a look and we fixed Dan's inability to read. So
Well, it was confusing.
when you
It was
have an inability to read. So what the rule is saying is when you take a warlord trait from someone else, you count as if you were the legion in terms of the warlord trait's wording. So the warlord traits is from the White Scars and it says White Scars units get blank. You call yourself a White Scar in terms of that rule, but you don't actually get the White Scar rules. That's what that is actually saying. So you can take a warlord trait and you get to apply the warlord trait as if it said, assume it says your own legion is essentially what they really should have said. Assume the warlord trait replace the legion it says by blood angels. That's what it's saying.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Say it. All right. So, and then really he only has one special rule, which is the Carmine Blade. Strength +1, Murderer Strike 5 up, AP 2. It's a Shred Paragon Blade. And Mastercrafted Shred Paragon Blade. All right. I mean, I don't. His big thing is going to be stealing someone else's warlord trait.
Yes.
I am not big brained enough, and it is too late in the night for me to think of some ridiculous, stupid combos.
If you do, as a listener, have a stupid, ridiculous combo,
Yes.
put in those. I did actually look back at our old coverage where we would have talked about this guy. I didn't see anything there when people talked about it. I'm thinking,
I don't know how to rate this guy, though, is the problem, because I don't know. I don't know what's like. He could be F. He could be S. I don't know what warlord trait to give him.
I was looking at White Scars because I was thinking other fast
Oh
armies.
my god, he could steal the Imperial Fist one.
The only one that applies to him would be Heroes Never Die, because obviously he's a loyalist, so you can't take the other one.
Yeah.
And Born in the Saddle doesn't do any good anyway. That one doesn't.
You could take
really
the Imperial
do
Fist one that we really
much.
like.
But
Actually,
you
the
don't.
Imperial
But you don't
Fist,
get the unit.
No, but the one that says reduce the.
So
it's the one we
look
just
it
did.
up.
Ah,
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
have to stop
scroll-
painting for a
yeah.
second and actually, you know.
No, I'm scrolling.
Yeah.
I forgot who has it. Is it Garrus? Garrus, the Garrus one, which was the don't make me read the whole thing, but it get Rage 2.
I
right?
don't
If you're
know
losing.
if you can take that one though.
It's Imperial Fist. It's Loyalist.
Is that an Imperial Fist warlord trait, or is that his special warlord trait? See, it's not Imperial Fist warlord trait. That is his warlord trait.
That's
He just
annoying.
happens to be Imperial Fist.
He just happens to be okay.
To me, that's how I interpreted that. I wouldn't
No,
say
you good. That makes
one.
sense.
Yeah, if it's on a special character, to me, that's not an army warlord trait.
Okay. I don't know.
How about this for a warlord trait? He can steal Imperial Fists, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
So out of Siege of Chthonia, we got this new one called Bound by Glory.
Okay.
Before deployment, but after lists are determined, you get to pick a variant of Legion Astartes, X. And as long as you are locked in combat with an enemy unit with that variation of Legion Astartes, you are fearless. But you can't sweep.
I don't like Blood Angels being fearless because when they come down, they kind of want the shroud.
Oh, yeah, they would like to sweep. Well, no, it's only when they're locked in combat. The shroud wouldn't matter once they're locked in combat.
Yeah, so it would
locked in combat. Got it.
Combat.
Yeah.
Which fearless there probably helps. Maybe you don't sweep, but if you can beat them enough, that's probably fine. And was that all of your units, or was there restrictions on that?
Yeah.
I missed it. There was restrictions.
Sorry, the warlord and his unit. The warlord
unit. Okay, I'm fine with that, because if I really want to sweep you, I'll just put someone else in there. Now at least my warlord's not going to get rushed off the board. I'm trying to think of some other ones that might be good. You're right, though. This guy, it really depends on what you take for him.
I don't want to. I feel bad. I don't want to rate him though, because literally, I don't know enough, and I feel bad for saying that. But it's like I don't know of a power combo I can give him.
Well, the fact that we don't have an obvious thing in mind is probably.
I'm going to say, and I'm going to say B. I'll do more research on him.
Howl of Mordecai. Once per battle controlling player with the warlord trait may declare the use of this trait at the start of their turn. For the duration of that player turn, all friendly models that in this case would be Blood Angels gain a bonus of +1 strength if the unit they are part of has successfully charged an enemy unit.
But they're already +1 to wound when they charge. I guess that could be like, they're already. No, that's good, because then they go from wounding on 3s to wounding on 2s to normal Marines.
Yes. So maybe Space Wolf, Howl of Mordecai might be actually a really good one for him, because that plays into in that one turn of what you already do well. I was trying to look at legions that I thought would do what you want to do.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
that one. Not as bad.
I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna say B, and only for the sheer fact of I don't know where to put him. I'll research a little bit later on this week, and then I'll see. I'll say B. I'll say B. I'm happy with that.
What do you think, Steve?
This is hard.
Weapon Skill 7's a nice perk.
Oh, he is good. Yeah, I was going to say he is a good fighter.
Just coming in there with that timid answer.
He's not a shit model.
B.
He's just.
You're happy with B?
I'm happy with B.
Why not bring him for an event? Bring him, have some fun.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, because I do think you can have some fun. Like I said, that warlord trait I think is pretty good. I don't have other ones in mind that I truly like for him. There's some other ones that aren't bad.
I'll check the Raven Guard ones later just to see.
One of the Iron Hands ones, it would be actually potentially pretty good for him as well. Which warlord trait is it? I don't remember the names of their warlord traits. From Hell's Heart, what does Hell's Heart do? Fear gives him fear 1, and should you go down to 0 wounds.
Fear 1 is great because they always want to be deep striking. So now you're deep striking. Everyone's taking a pinning check at -1.
The other one is Silver Iron Will is never bad. You cannot have your characteristics lowered unless it's by wounds. That includes fear, radphage, all of that.
I like the fear one. I do like the fear one, because the fear one means that when you deep strike your dudes down and people take a pinning check, they're now -1 leadership.
Yep. And then it does
I'll take
do,
that.
and should the warlord be reduced to 0 wounds and control and parry, may choose to inflict D6 automatic hits upon the unit whose attacks cause the final wound. Normal allocation. Yeah, you get to hit people when you go down, and then your
When you go
extra
down, yeah.
reaction is the assault phase, which is pretty good for them as well. So that's not a bad option either. I don't think you're going to find something that breaks it for him in any way, but you're going to find some good options that will let you do something a little bit different that you normally get to. So yeah, he's fun for an event. Bring him. Mimic whatever your opponent's doing.
Steal his warlord trait.
Yeah. Oh, you're playing that Legion? Your warlord trait's my warlord trait now. And you run from him. You go have fun. Steve gets to talk about Zephon.
Zephyr.
Oh yeah, the plastic option. For the gentleman that wants to support the local game store. So, Dominion Zephon, 185 points, gets you a Praetor stat line, but you get some rag grenades and shit, right?
Yeah, he has
you get
rag grenades.
You get rag grenades and shit. So he has Fancy Power Sword, Artificer Armor, Jump Pack, Iron Halo, Frag Crack, Rag Grenades, Melted Bombs, Lament and Grief, which are his Volkite pistols. For special rules, he is a Blood Angel admin character, blah, 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 blah. Furious Charge, Bitter Duty, Stubborn, and Paragon of Restoration. And he has this fancy warlord trait all of his own called Exarch of the High Host. So, that warlord trait. If he's your warlord, I'm going to get a bonus assault phase reaction. And if he's your warlord, you can take a destroyer squad as your retinue.
Yep.
It doesn't use up a slot. It must be with Zephon. And they all gain chosen warriors.
Hmm.
If you do this, you'll get to pick another unit to be your retinue. They do not get a flag.
No, kind of.
So you get to sneak in a destroyer squad with chosen warriors. They could take power weapons, so maybe it's interesting. 1 and 5, I think. I don't think it's the whole squad. I'm pretty sure it's 1 and 5. It's been a minute. It's an option. It's kind of a non-warlord trait, if you ask me. But it's there. Let's see. We have Paragon Restoration. So he has Field of Pain 5 up, which is nice. And the first time he dies, on a 4 up, he doesn't. He has 1 wound left. Which is nice. Half the time. He has a Fancy Power Sword, Stratagem Sanguis, Strength +1, AP 2, Melee 2-handed, Reaping Blow 1, Master Crafted. It's a Paragon Blade, except it takes 2 hands instead of being special. So it's the same deal there. Reaping Blow 1 is more swings, Master Crafted is good. You lose the instant death possibility. It's a side grade. I'm with it. Then we have Lament and Grief, which are hilarious. They are Volkite Serpentas, so there's range 10, strength 5, AP 5, pistol 3, deflagrate, and blind. So he's throwing out 6 dice all by himself. And they're blinding, just in case.
The blind is nice.
Yeah. 185 points.
Mm.
He's Master of the Legion, which is nice.
At least means you don't have to take an extra.
Yeah, but I don't really want him as my warlord because he has such a non-trait.
Yeah. Destroyers are 1 and 5 for power weapons.
Okay, yeah, it's such a non-trait, especially when he has his own rag grenades. Put him in a normal command squad. They will love those rag grenades. They have chosen warriors, and they're up in skill 5. And they have 2 wounds each.
Yeah.
And they have a 2-up save. Put him in a command squad. Or just don't and have them join some other squad. Be like, hey man, you want some rag grenades? They'll be like, oh man, I would love some rag grenades.
Why did that
Cool.
sound like the meme of like the old person? Hey kids. I don't know if you know that meme, Steve.
I could
I
hear
think
it.
it's
I
Steve
can't picture it.
Buscemi.
It's
I wanna
Steve
say it's
Buscemi, yes.
Yeah.
Hello, fellow
Hello,
teenagers.
fellow children. Yeah, teenagers.
Dan's good about memes from roughly 10 to 15 years ago.
I could do memes now too. I teach middle school.
I think you could run Zephon and not need to be like, hey man, just to let you know, I got Zephon on my list. I don't think it's one of those deals. I think he's like,
I think he okay.
Are you even
Total.
running him?
Okay, I'm going to be mean. I'm going to be slightly mean. I think he's our first F.
F is a little harsh. There are Fs coming up.
Okay, but like,
F
okay,
is
let's be
harsh.
honest.
He's like a
what did he
C.
do?
He's a C.
I give a D. I'll give a D.
He's a Praetor with rat grenades, you know? Get him some slack. Warhawk jump packs are like, what, 20 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not impressed with this dude at all.
His charge isn't too bad. He's definitely not better than C because he has some stuff, but you're paying quite a bit for it, and I don't know if you get quite enough out of it.
And
Well, you
sometimes
definitely
he
don't.
gets 1 wound back when he dies.
Yeah. Him having feel no pain isn't bad overall either. Although there's nothing that's going to stop him from just getting doubled out and losing all of his wounds at once when someone hits you with a power fist to the face. On a 4-up, he remains a single wound. Is it once per battle? The first time. I understand why they don't want it, but instead give me like a 5-up and just let me do it every time. Let me just roll into that because that would just be funny. Like you're probably going to barely ever get it, but maybe that one game you just don't die. I would put him to C. I don't really like what this guy does.
Same.
The rag grenades I think do help, but there's nothing else that's like super exciting compared to like a Praetor.
6 almost Paragon Blade attacks on the charge. Yay.
Who cares?
It's
the problem is you're missing the spot that you really like about Paragon Blades, and that's the fact that they can cause instant death.
Yes.
Maybe it only happens on 6.
I like the AP2 at initiative. That's what draws me
yes,
in for
that too as well. Yes, I absolutely do love that as well. But it's like you're missing a little bit. I don't know if you're getting that much more. I guess the Reaping Blow. I don't know. Also, I'm seeing us put a lot of people in that middle. So like I'm looking at it as if I don't like him enough for it.
Exactly. No, I was gonna say I see him for C. It's not because we need someone below the middle. It's I just generally look at this dude and I'm like, okay.
He could be better. He could do more. And it feels like he doesn't quite do enough.
He doesn't do shit, yeah.
I mean, he does some stuff. He absolutely will. But no, because he has a Praetor stat line with an AP2 at initiative weapon. He's absolutely going to do something. But everyone can do something if you pick the right target. You just got to make sure you pick the right target. All right. That's okay. That finishes Blood Angels. So how many did we actually do new? We have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're at 15. We did 7. So do we want to go through the 2 for Iron Hands?
We could do the 2. Yeah, I was gonna say we could finish out with
let's
Iron
at
Hands.
least get through the first half of the legions.
Well, we're not actually technically done the first half until we finish all the loyalists.
You know what I mean? Half
Yes.
the loyalists.
Yeah. Well, actually, after these 2 guys, we'd be able to finish the loyalists and another one because then there's only, I think, about 7 other loyalists.
Oh, nice.
When I counted it up, I think it's like 3, 3, and 1. But all right,
If we take long enough, I'll have a couple extras in the new campaign book.
that's true. It might because we are doing this, but once we're through with the loyalists, we might talk about some other stuff and then come back to this. We used to record things more often. Just life's been busy, but I try to record other things. But for these official episodes, we just don't get to them quite as often. Last week was just a fluke. Steve was playing too much Warcry. It held him up too long, and Dan and we said no.
Well, you don't want to start recording at 11 at night when you have work the next morning. Crazy.
I don't work Thursday mornings. I can record whenever. Don't bother me. No, I won't go to bed till probably 2 a.m. either way. When we're done this, my wife and I are probably going to sit and play Crokinole.
I work Thursday morning.
Yeah, my night hasn't even begun yet. What you talking about? Okay, you just did the last one. So, Dan, which of these 2 do you want? Onsec Moore or Shadrach?
Ooh, Shadrach sounds cooler. I don't even know who these guys are, but I'll take Shadrach.
Okay.
Take that back.
What, I'll talk more is cooler? I don't know. I'll take Shadrach. I made my decision. I'll take Shadrach.
All right, he's made his call. He's going to live with it. So we're going to talk about Iron Father, a bit more.
Father.
He's 225 points for this guy. Like I said, so you can already tell some about him because he's an Iron Father. He's move 6, weapon skill 6, plus skill 5. He's strength, toughness, wounds, and attacks all 4s. He's going initiative 5, 2-up save, leadership 10. So he has that Praetor type stat line sitting right there for him. He is heavy. He's got a Volkite Charger. He's got a Cyber Familiar, and he's got some other special war gears that we'll get to when we get there. He's relentless. He is also fearless. Bulky 2 makes sense. He is Master of the Legion. He's a Battlesmith 3-up because he does have Battlesmith type things. He has a Warlord trait, and he's Loyalist, of course. His Warlord trait is Tyrant's Wrath. Any unit made up of models with the Legion of Astartes, so Iron Hand special rule, that a Warlord with this trait has joined. So essentially, it's a long-winded way to say him and his unit may add 1 to the amount of wounds caused when calculating who has won close combat. I don't care about that at all. At the end of the combat, after pile-in or consolidation moves are made, a unit that has added this bonus suffers a single wound with no armor save or damage mitigation allowed. In addition, you get an extra reaction in the shooting phase. So essentially, you get an extra reaction in the shooting phase, and if you had tied, you may add 1 to win the combat. Because that +1 is a choice. The other nice part is it doesn't say that it's not allowed to stack. Several of these have said they don't stack, so this one is allowed to stack. So if you have a flag and you were getting that +1 that caused the tie, you may take this as the extra +1 to win the combat. But it's only his unit. I don't care. The extra shooting attack reaction is great for them because Iron Hands, the fact that essentially when you're shooting at them, they're -1. They count that strength with that -1. That is really huge. So you being able to shoot back at people is really, really good. His Armis Panopticus. It is a 2-up, 4-up. He also gets Feel No Pain 5-up. Doesn't stack with any other Feel No Pain, so it puts him at 5-up. Additionally, incorporates a Manipulator Array, which he made 2 additional attacks in the Assault phase that are at Strength 6, AP2. They're unwieldy, so going last. Shred, Armor Bane, in melee, Precision Strikes 3-up. Like I said, he's an Iron Father, so he has essentially his backpack sort of kit. He also has a power weapon, the Argonikos. It's +2 strength, so strength 6, AP2, melee 2-handed with Reaping Blow 2. Cyber Familiar gives you +1 to your invul, right? So he's a 3-up invul? Okay.
3-up invul, yep.
That's what I thought. It's been a little bit since I played Iron Hands. The guy I used to play with Iron Hands moved to the West Coast. So been a little bit since I looked at some stuff. So he's Battlesmith 3-up, so he can fix your vehicles, do all those sorts of fun Battlesmith things. He's got a 3-up invul save. He's going to be super survivable because of that 3-up invul save, unless, of course, someone hits you with the Power Fist and you happen to roll that 1 or 2. Then you're going down real fast. I don't care about his Warlord trait at all. Yes, it's a nice to have if it were to occur. But in general, it's not going to occur. So, who cares? And he doesn't really have that much else for 225 points.
But okay, so he's also a legendary pick, so that probably might be explaining why he's so like underwowed. Like he's not wowing me at all.
No, I mean, okay, for those points, like, yeah, he's got a decent weapon, but I could get you a Praetor with a very decent weapon. His
I go with a Forge Father.
Array,
Wait, I go with a Forge Father with almost the same exact loadout for like 50, 60 points cheaper.
yeah, like what's he doing so crazy above that Forge Father?
I'm trying to think. Like I can build a Forge Father. I'm looking at with a Cyber Familiar. His weapon is basically what, a souped up power axe.
Strength +2, so 2-handed Reaping Blow. Yeah, but he gets
It's
to
a
strike at
specialized
initiative.
weapon. Who cares? Oh, okay. So I can't really do. Well, I can give him a Paragon Blade, and now I have Killing Blow. Oh my god, I can't speak. Right?
But
I
looking
can
at
give
too much
my-
old world,
my-
go and kill and blow there.
I don't know, Jesus Christ.
This
I can
might
give
be
my
the past
Praetor.
from 40K, but ain't that far in the past.
Yeah, I know. I can give my Praetor a 3+ though if I wanted to, because he can take a Cyber Familiar. I can give him a better gun. I can give him a Machinator Array, which is pretty much the same fucking thing as the other thing he's got.
Well, this is precision strikes, which is
Oh, it's okay. So it does have
cool.
precision strike. Woo.
I mean, picking out banners helps a lot, though.
Yeah, but okay. I guess if he's not in the challenge, you can pick out the banner. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not wowed by this guy. I'm sorry. I feel bad about this with the Iron Hands players. Actually, I don't, because Iron Hand players have a lot of good stuff like
Yes, they do.
organs
I don't feel bad for
and
anyone.
and that other stupid thing. Yeah, no.
So the Iron Father would be 65 points on top of, you could put it on your Praetor. You get Battlesmith 3 up, you get the 5 of Feel No Pain, you get the Machinator Array, and the Cyber Familiar. So you essentially
you get the Cyber
all
Familiar
of that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So here's a 3-up invul, and he has at initiative strength 6 AP2, +2 attacks with Reaping Blow. Why don't you love this guy, Dan? It's like everything
It's just
you ever asked
I could
for.
build a cheaper Praetor, and his Warlord trait doesn't. He doesn't have anything special. Like all the other guys, at least like Raldoron had something special for Christ's sake. What does he do that a Praetor doesn't do?
So I'm if
Machinator
you're looking
Array,
at, I'm
Precision
pulling
Strike,
up.
and Reaping Blow 2 Paragon Blade.
That did
Woo.
pop up there.
If melee prowess is the best thing he can come up with as an Iron Hand, and nothing like special, then yeah, he ain't my favorite.
I'm trying to pull up Battle Scribe and seeing when it loads, because I want to price out the Praetor for this.
Well, how much is a Praetor normally?
That's what I want to price out. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say we don't know how
I'm
much
trying to
the Praetor
remember
is.
all the little costs of things, and I don't want to be wrong about this, because part of our argument is this
So
guy
what
may
I'll
not
do
be
is
that
let me
good
open up-
because
yeah.
he literally gets nothing extra.
Let me open up. Where the hell's? I
My
guess
Battle
Legion of
Scribe is
Astartes?
updating.
Oh,
That's fine.
I was gonna try to
Battle
open up the
Scribe,
damn units, but I can't find the damn units. Is it armory? Why can't I find? Am I going crazy?
you probably are.
Oh, I guess Praetor would be under the non-Legion shit.
Yeah, that's not Legion. Yeah, Praetors aren't Legion.
God damn it! All right, army list, Legion of Astartes. Wait, where the hell would it be then? Legion of Astartes. Legion of Astartes army list. There we go. Nope, that's not. HQ. There we are. Praetor. I have it right here. Praetors. So
120.
Praetors are 120, and he's what 65.
It's extra 65 to.
So
do
now
the
he's at
extra bonus.
185.
So
Let's
we
give him
got
a
this.
Paragon Blade. Let's give him a Paragon Blade because we want to get like a similar stat line. Paragon Blade is how much?
Yeah, we'll make him an Iron Father.
So he's at 185.
Paragon Blades are what, 30?
30. So he's at 210 ish.
Cyber Familiar is another like 10 to 15.
No,
Cyber
Cyber Familiar
Familiar is
comes.
automatic when you take an
It
Iron
comes
Father.
with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the Machinator
how much are we
and
right
Cyber
there?
Familiar War Gear.
How much are we right there?
Are those things 30? I'm just not seeing it as an option. If it is, I want to say it was 30. Am I right about that? No, those are the ranged weapons. Why am I not seeing? Oh no, it's not a chainsword. What was the chainsword? Why am I not seeing? Oh, there's Paragon Blade. Yeah, 30. So you put a Paragon Blade on the guy. I don't know. Half the time I try to put one, it puts 2 Paragon Blades. You are looking at 215.
This guy's 225.
So what are you getting for 10 points?
What are you getting for 10 points? You're getting a Warlord trait that really I don't want because I'd rather
Doesn't
take the Iron Hand.
exist.
Yeah, I'd rather take the Iron Hands one. All right.
Yes,
That's
the
step
Iron
one.
Hands actually have some good Warlord traits. I want good
Yeah.
Warlord traits.
So you get a Warlord trait that you don't want. That's step one. Right.
Yeah.
You get
You get a little bit of precision strikes with an
the
unwieldy
Machinator
weapon.
array, or the Manipulator array. Sorry, not even the Machinator array.
No, that's it.
I would rather have 2 strength 6 AP2s and 1 strength 8 AP2 though.
No, the Machinator array is 2.
No, a normal Iron Father gets a server warrant.
Oh. No, you get a
And it
Machinator
doesn't
array.
No, you
Yeah.
get a Machinator array.
You get a Machinator.
Are you sure about
Yes.
that? It's not a servo arm?
I'll pull it back up and stare at it again.
Look at what is
Iron
it?
Father. So when
yeah.
we pull up an Iron Father, let me zoom in so I can see this because my eyes have gotten old. Iron Father, a Legion Praetor, Legion Cataphractii Praetor. So you could actually put on Cataphractii one, or Legion Tartaros Praetor with an Iron Father upgrade gains the Battlesmith 3-up and Feel No Pain 5 of special rule, and the Machinator Array and Cyber Familiar War Gear.
Wait, this guy doesn't even have 5 of Feel No Pain.
Yeah, he does.
You
He
get-
does. He does. He has 5 of Feel No Pain.
It's in the armor.
Yeah, if you look at his armor.
Oh, it's in the armor guy.
Yeah, he does get the Feel No Pain. I'd rather probably take a normal Iron Father so I can get one of those better Warlord
That's
traits
so stupid.
and save a little
Yeah.
bit.
It's stupid because the Machinator Array is not what the model has. The model has a servo arm.
Yeah. But no,
Where's the
you
flavor?
actually you
Where's the
do get a
Melta?
Machinator Array.
So this guy's losing out on a flamer and a Melta.
Yes.
He's also losing out on
Dan, you do know you moved your
Warlord
camera,
trait.
right?
Oh yeah, no, I bumped it.
Okay, that's fine.
He's losing out on the Flamer Melt.
Yeah.
He's losing out on the Warlord traits that Iron Hands get. He's losing out on. That's about it. So you're taking for 10 points more. You're taking a worse Warlord trait, and you're taking not a Flamer Melt.
I caught it. I appreciated it, Steve.
Wait, what happened?
Even if Dan didn't. It's too late. You missed it. Went over your head.
Oh,
You'll have to listen back and find it for yourself.
He doesn't listen
What did
to
you say?
anything
Now
we do.
I missed this completely.
He did.
I'm trying to see a good here.
You get 2 swings at I1 that are precision strike on a 3. That's all you actually get. But I'd rather have the Melta gun.
I'd rather have the melter gun and the flavor.
I'd rather shoot your vehicle. Oh, I don't have anything to fix. I'm gonna pop your vehicle and then go eat the tasty morsels inside. So no, I'm
gonna say F.
You don't get anything. That's the
You
thing.
don't
Like
get
normally
anything, and
you
it's
get
more.
something cool with a special character.
And it's more. I want to stress that. It's more.
Yeah. Like I said, the Warlord trait, you have better options. Yes, it will come in handy every now and then, but honestly, in the amount of times I played this game, I can't think of a lot of times I tied. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but in general, you don't get a whole lot of ties. At least I don't. Do either of you think tying in combat occurs very much?
The only time tying to combat helps me is when I'm playing demons and it reduces the amount of demons that die.
Yeah,
That is
but do you find you
only
tie
time.
often in combat? Because this
No, I don't.
Yeah,
No.
because
Yeah.
I whiff and my opponent whiffs, and we both have standards, and so we just stand there and stare.
Yeah.
It happens.
Or I guess it can get you to the tie. Like it is something. But I kind of like some of the other traits more. Because it's also
Look, it
only
gives
his
you
unit.
the 2 reactions in the assault phase, though. I've taken it just for the assault phase reaction.
Yeah. Well, this guy gives you shooting phase. He doesn't give you assault phase.
Bloody hand.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So I agree with that. Yeah. I'm fine with putting him at the bottom.
Yeah. I'm trying to see like a benefit
He is worse
here.
than the generic that puts him into D tier.
Yes.
Yeah.
He needs one cool thing he does, or his Warlord trait needs to do something a little bit extra cool. Just doesn't quite do enough. All right. Go to Shadrach. Okay. Also, what I will say is these guys didn't need any help, so their characters can be garbage.
Exactly.
And that's
Like
fine.
I'm not upset at this because,
But maybe
All
this
right,
guy's
ready?
good. Who knows?
Shadrach 130. Oh, cheap. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Not really.
135? That's cheap
not-
from one of the ones we've
that's
seen so far.
That's
Typical.
Yeah,
for
it's a few
Praetor.
more points than a Praetor. Praetors are 120 base.
Oh, okay.
Notice he's Artificer, not Terminator.
True. So, weapon skill 6, BS5, 443 for the strength, toughness, and wounds. Initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 10, 2 up save. He has an Iron Halo, so he's a 2 up, 4 up. He has some bespoke stuff. He does have an architect pistol, though. That nice 3 up red, which is nice. He's got Master Legion. He's got his own Warlord trait. That's about it. He's kind of simple. So let's see his warlord trait. You get an additional assault phase reaction. Okay. Any unit he joined gets Iron Hands, obviously, gets Furious Charge 1. Note that if the unit already has a version of Furious Charge special rule that then does not stack, and you could choose either one. So that give you a Furious Charge 2. So he grants Furious Charge 1, which is
Extra strength is nice.
Yeah.
you're going to put him with the Gorgons, which already have Thunder. Anyway, Albion Power Gladius. So we're looking at a Strength +1, Strength 5, AP 3, Melee Breaching 5, but Master Crafted. Okay.
It's a sword, but it's breaching instead of rending.
So
This is not
why would you take him over a Praetor?
the Shadrach
because he's got a cool name.
G.
I'm just gonna take a Praetor and call him Shadrach and make a better
Isn't he
character.
getting? It's okay. It's okay. He's in the new book. He's in the new book. This is subject to change.
Okay, hold on. Maybe I'm going crazy. What is
Could
to
be.
stop me from just taking a Praetor at 125 points, give him a Paragon Blade, and have a better Warlord trait?
He will be more expensive that way.
Okay.
He'll be like 150
Oh
instead
no,
of
I'm
135.
taking 20 points.
Yeah, because his weapon's only AP3.
Yeah.
I don't want my 2-up save people to have AP3 weapons. My 2-up save people need to be able to hurt 2-up saves. Yes, I know it's breaching on the 5, but I want more consistency than that.
So I asked the question again. Why would I not just take a Praetor?
Because he's getting new rules in the new book.
Yeah. Is he actually
Yeah.
getting new rules? We know that?
I'm pretty sure they announced in the article, like, oh yeah, Shattered Legion, Shaq Manuson, yay.
That makes sense. I mean, that's essentially
He is part
what
of the
he
Shattered-
showed up
okay,
for, and Shattered Legion was his
Exactly.
thing. So, let's judge off of what we see here and hope he gets a change that makes him more fun. He doesn't even. I don't even know if he plays into his fluff necessarily so much. I guess the Furious Charge, him and his unit is so angry. I don't know. He
Iron
doesn't
Hands
play
are
into.
angry.
Yeah, he doesn't play into what you would expect him to be that much. So, yeah, I think I'd rather just take one of their normal HQs, or take an Iron Father, or just take a normal HQ with a Cyber Familiar. If you came with a Cyber Familiar, maybe now, because that's sort of like their special thing. But
Oh, yep. Shadrach Manuson will have rules in the new book.
okay, good, because his
All
rules
new
now are not good.
rules. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put him in F for now with a star saying I will hopefully try to revisit this dude when the new book drops.
Yeah, given the unit Fear 1 instead with their basic one or their Silver Iron, you can't reduce my stats. Those are some fun plays. This one, not so much. They'll put him down there, and maybe his new form could be a lot better. So this is out of the legacies. When the new book drops, and if he's a lot better, all the more. That would be great. We'd love to see this guy actually be good. I'd love to see their other stuff toned down and their characters get better. Because, yeah, running something like crazy like Company of Bitter Iron and stuff like that where it gets so strong. Maybe you run him because his name is Medusan and you run it with Medusan Immortals because you like to theme it that way because you're the type of person who feng shui's their house. So, all right. Well, that's a bummer.
What a way to end the video. Goddamn.
That's all right. Yeah, I would say we'd do like one more dude to pop it up, but no, that's okay. It's very late.
Who would be the next one? It's
The
Ultramarines, right?
Ultramarines have Remus Ventas.
Oh, okay. I'll do him next.
All right.
He's cool.
All right, so then we'll start strong. We ended low,
Yeah, he's cool.
but we'll start strong. We'll try to get to that. All right, but that ties out about the amount of people. Like I said, we've been trying to keep these maybe a little bit shorter so we can hopefully get you other content during the week, because that means it's shorter for me to edit this and I can get to other things like that battle report that I'm editing. So as we said at the top, you should see a battle report from us. There's another Conquest video that I have yet to start on. I might actually try to make it while I'm sitting at work tomorrow if no students show up. They may. It's early in the semester. Usually they don't. So I might sit down and actually try to make that there. If not, I'll put it all together. I'll make it once I get home. So you should be seeing that. You should be seeing this. Dan and I are going to start playing some Old World. I don't know if we'll be taping anything soon. Brian, with the army, the ogres we have, I'm assuming unpainted. Are they in a way that we can make it work, or is it like a weird?
They're completely
mess?
unpainted, and they're not even Warhammer. They're Mantic.
Okay.
I would have given you my ogre army, but I sold that to fund.
Well, no. I bought the ogre army like years ago.
No, my ogre army. Remember the massive one I had?
Oh yeah. When you have you got ogres
The
again.
COVID army, I like to call it.
Because I have some orc stuff, but I don't have enough that would be able to make a list currently. But that's all right. I mean, we can still play. We just might not tape it, but we'll be taping some Old World. Once I build more skeletons during this, I was able to build about 4 skeletons. I don't get to hobby nearly as much because I have to control everything, but I put like 4 guys together, and there's one. He's a skeleton. There's a little skeletal man.
God, they're so chunky.
They are very
love
chunky
it.
skeletons. Like
I appreciate the chunk.
they are.
I love it.
thick.
It's so yeah.
Like I told him, if you compare this to the Osiark Bone Reaper models I'm putting together, they are like thin and wispy and like super everything like that. No, these guys, these men were all power lifters in life or something, because
They drank their milk. They had their Ovaltine.
Yes. I don't know how much milk they had in Khemri, but apparently all of it. Yeah, they are hefty lads. But I'm working on them. It's going to take a while. For anyone who hasn't, and I'll do this when I do a review as well. If you haven't seen the old GW sprues, this is an old GW sprue.
Hey,
so what you'll notice
memories.
is I could actually put my hands through this sprue in multiple places. So now, if this is a new GW sprue, it would be about a quarter of the size. This sprue is 4 skeletons. The box has 18 of these sprues, because you can make like 78 skeletons, or like 76 skeletons. If this was a current GW sprue, it would legitimately. So compare the old to the one for the dragon, and look at how much space there isn't. You would be able to fit like 10 skeletons now with the current thing.
More.
If I got my OCR Bone Reaper over there, the sprue is about, a bit longer, but it's legitimately 10. So this big old box is going to have tons of these pieces. The other thing, if someone is newer to GW, things that you might not know, the amount of mold lines you have is nothing short of maddening. There's mold lines on everything. The inner and outer legs are all mold lines. And you do have to
mold
clean
lines
all of
have
that.
mold lines.
Yeah. Especially if you're talking about a skeleton, because skeletons you're probably going to do very light colors, which means the mold lines are even more visible.
They're going to be very visible.
Probably
Yep.
just going to spray and wash and move on.
I'm
will catch every last mold line.
Yes.
The dry brush will catch every last mold line.
Yeah. Now, don't go too crazy, because these guys are like 5 points a model. So clean them up, but I'm not worried about cleaning perfect. I'm going for the big hauls, and if there's little bits left, who cares? I'm probably just going to do some contrast paints on them and then kind of shine it up from there. But I'm going to start with that at the first level. All I haven't decided is, do I want my skeletons to be more of a white color or more of a yellowy bone type color? Like
honestly, it depends on the
bone.
base. It depends on the base you're going to do. Right?
So-
It depends on the environment that it was.
Exactly. And the base.
So
if you do a desert base,
the bases that I'm doing are from the 1-page rules. They're STL files for their bases. It is essentially, fallen Egyptian runes. So
what color are you doing is what I'm saying.
Oh, I haven't decided that yet.
Because if you're gonna do like a bleached white, then don't do the skeletons. But you want to contrast it, right?
Well,
Makes
yeah,
sense?
of course.
Yeah.
I just haven't decided how the exact tone of that. They're going to be somewhat similar tones, but I'm going to make sure one is more yellowed, one is more bleached white. But so once I get more of that stuff done, we'll be doing some old world battle reports as well. Should hopefully be getting back some conquest stuff as well for battle reports, because I am I know there's a local who wants to do that as well, because I want to do that for some of the units that aren't currently out, so that way I can test them out and be able to talk to them as well. So those are the sorts of things you should be seeing. As always, we'd like to say we do thank you for any watches, listens, or in any way that you enjoy our content. We do put a decent amount of stuff out that is only put out on YouTube. So if you do happen to listen to this on any podcatcher, take a look at the YouTube as well. You see some stuff there. If you're looking for Conquest, we have a code below so you can save some money, especially if you look at those brand new Sorcerer Kings that are coming out, which look really, really good. Loving the look of all those guys. We have a Patreon in case you do enjoy the variety of content that we put out. Like I said, I'm probably going to start putting some stuff in there as well, not as like a permanent lock, but maybe as timed lock, just to be able to reward the people who do help us there, because I do want to give them more or something to show that appreciation, because content wise it can be a little bit hit and miss how fast we can get to things they may want. This might be able to help out with that as well. For things to expect from us, we will hopefully be continuing this next week. They said you'll see some more Conquest stuff coming out. You'll hopefully see some Orwell stuff. You'll see an Imperialis battle report. And then you should see at least another video from me going through my Imperialis armies and talking a little bit about weapon choices, armor, and stuff like that as we build out to more of that. All right, I think that belabors enough because it's already late enough. So on behalf of everyone here at the show then, has a good hobbying and some great gaming.